call.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Alex, the financial guru. I'm here with my brothers. We are on live BroTalkTV. We got a special guest in the house today. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm LaQueasha.
LaQueasha, how you doing? Welcome to Bro Talk.
Hi, thank you for having me.
That's what's up. So, LaQueasha, you are here on one of the hottest stations in the nation right now. And, you know, one thing we like to do is have a lot of fun, joke around. I know you're a female and you're not a bro.
I'm not.
But today you're going to be one of the bros.
All right.
On the last episode, you noticed that you only saw 4 of us, and there's really 5 of us. The one who's actually the glue for all 4 of us bros. Yeah. And I'm going to introduce him real quick. It's the main bro, my boy Steve. Go ahead, Steve. Say what's up.
What's going on, y'all? Steve here.
All right, perfect, man. So let's get right into it. First off, how is everyone doing?
I'm all right.
I'm good.
What about you, Ray?
Yo.
Ray is just always live, no matter what.
Always live.
Well, you know, I was watching in the news that what is his name? Breonna Taylor? Breonna Taylor. And
It's not her. It's not him. It's her.
of course, her. I apologize. And a while back, she lost her life during miscommunication, is what they want to call it. She was shot erroneously, and with her losing her life, there was the verdict this past couple of days. And any of y'all know exactly what that verdict was?
I still don't agree with it, but they basically said that he had 3 wanton endangerment charges. But
Hold on. What is a wonton?
so basically, what that means is it's not that he got charged for shooting her. He got charged for shooting bullets within her apartment.
Who got shot? Who got charged with it?
The officer.
The officer,
he was charged not for her murder, but he was charged for shooting in her apartment.
He basically got charged for missed shots.
Right.
And the crazy thing was, only 1 of the 3 officers got charged, and he didn't get charged for the bullets that went into her house. He got charged for the bullets that went into the other.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, because I really don't know too much about it. Did they have a warrant to come in? Like how did that work exactly?
So there was a supposed warrant.
A supposed warrant.
Yes, but nobody really knows what the warrant was for. So everybody has been trying to or asking to see what the warrant was for. But they won't show it.
So you're telling me, let me make sure I understand this correctly. You're telling me policemen came to a house, bam, 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 kicked down the door, start shooting up the place with a warrant that hasn't been provided yet?
Yep.
Now, was that supposed to be public information in terms of a warrant?
If I remember correctly, I don't know what state is this?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Okay, so I don't know what Kentucky laws is, but if I know in Florida, if someone were to come into, Florida home, they're required to provide that information. So not only is this senseless killing, but killing that you can't even prove.
The thing is, though, is they already had the person in custody that they wanted.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I heard that they was going after her boyfriend, right?
That.
He was already in custody.
He was already arrested prior to this?
Yeah, he was already in custody.
So you chasing a man that's already locked up?
Pretty much.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
We got a fact checker on that?
Oh, no, it's definitely fact check.
Wow.
But I heard that the officer got charged for bullets missed.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
much.
pretty much. They got charged for the bullets missed, not the bullets that actually killed him.
So with those bullets being missed, I'm assuming there got to be maybe some type of light sentence. what is it, like a misdemeanor or is it a felony? Anyone knows that?
I'm not. No.
Cause I don't think that they've officially charged him yet. He still has to go to court.
Oh, so he's not even really charged.
No.
No, not officially. That's just
So the attorney, I mean, not the attorney, the
Attorney General.
Yeah, the Attorney General hasn't charged anything.
That they came out yesterday and said that that's what they're going to charge him with.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
it just seems suspect to me because they started boarding up the courthouse, police stations before they even made the verdict.
Wow.
So they already knew what was going to happen, and they already know that they're going to drop the ball on that one, and the citizens are going to react to it, which they did.
So they knew it. They knew what time
They
it
knew
was.
what time it is. So my thing is, what happens after they take the boards down? You don't think we're just going to wait till those boards get down? And
Exactly.
They're
hoping
boys
that-
ain't never stopped nobody before.
Exactly. They're hoping that what we've done,
Oh my goodness.
like, you know, the craziness that happened in the past, that it'll just blow over. Don't worry about it. We got away with a clean murder. It'll blow over.
But what's crazier is last week I think it was, or maybe 2 weeks, they paid the family off.
That's what I heard. What was like
They paid
10
the
million
family
or
off.
something?
I think it was
12
15.
million. It was
Was it
12
12?
million.
12.
Yeah.
They
$12
paid the
million.
family off for what was it? Senseless killing or something to that effect. But yet you don't charge the man for any type of killing. So what was the point in giving them money for killing if you're not going to charge the person for a death?
And the family's supposed to speak out publicly. I think it might even be tonight. I'm not sure, but they're supposed to speak publicly for the first time, so we get to hear from the mother and other close family members about what's really happening. Because I mean, I don't care what $12 million, $1,000, $100.
That's not enough for life.
Yeah, there's nothing worth
Absolutely not.
someone's life, especially not when it's like this for no reason.
I want to ask one last question, and I know this has nothing to do with her killing, because that's exactly what it was. She was killed. She was murdered. Does anyone know her background? Was she a criminal?
She was a 26-year-old emergency room technician.
So this was a law-abiding citizen, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And
To work in the medical
field.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
26 years old.
Dang.
With that being said, I have heard some stories out there. Obviously, I don't have all the facts. I don't think any of us have all the facts, really. But I've heard some stories out there that supposedly her name might have been on the warrant as well. And supposedly, the other side also sees it as she was working with her boyfriend.
With the boyfriend.
In this drug business that he's supposedly a part of. But then I also heard reports that there were no drugs found in the apartment.
No.
Of course.
So it's kind of like, okay, drug warrant, no drugs.
Right.
All of a sudden her name's on the warrant. And at that point, why have we not seen the warrant yet?
Right. So my question is,
Months later.
the boyfriend still alive?
Of course.
Yeah.
So even if there was a warrant, the warrant is to capture or to detain someone, not to take someone's life. So my thing is, if something went bad, why is there no
Repercussions?
Repercussions
Right.
based
And her
on no matter whose
boyfriend-
action it was? Because if it was someone on the street, random, and it was a misfire, we're gonna do some time just by the misfire.
10,000%.
That it
You
killed
go to
somebody.
jail for
10,000%.
You go to jail for involuntary vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah.
Right.
But you talk about you shot somebody and it was an accident and you're going to get a settlement and get off with the wonton or whatever it's called. Guantanamo Bay, whatever they want to call it.
Yo, I didn't
Like, what
even
are you talking
know
about?
you can charge somebody with a Chinese soup. I ain't never heard that a day in my life.
That's the same thing I
Wonton.
was thinking, man.
Bro, it's the first time I ever heard of that. Wow.
That's crazy.
First time.
Wonton.
Crazy. Whatever it is, it's messed up.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There we
Was
go.
there any violence or anything like that? Any type of domestic situation in that relationship or anything like that?
I haven't heard any
Not that I
reports
know
like
of.
that.
It doesn't say, so I really don't know.
And then her boyfriend came out and said that the police tried to pretty much get him to say that she was in on any of the drug dealings that he had. And he came out and said, no, she didn't. You can't make me say She was involved in this just so you can have a reason.
Just so you can justify.
You can have a justified reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's So and that's unfortunate. So my thing is, it seems as if they want to paint the picture after there's nobody really to have a voice.
Right.
And in my opinion, the $12 million is just to minimize the family from being really outrageous because of whether the verdict or what scenarios are happening. In my opinion, this is not justifiable, and I think that's why we tend to come together and say, why is the police above the law? How come they're not being charged? Every now and then, certain officers might get penalized just to make an example out of them, but those seem to be selective as well. It doesn't seem like it's across the board, and that's just something that's just unfortunate, especially when it's at the expense of our black and brown brothers and sisters.
Totally agree. Yeah. So the reason I was asking about domestic violence is because I know that this month is a what they call it domestic violence awareness, and this program is really catered to it, and it's unfortunate that there was a killing with Breonna Taylor and that her life was snatched from her prematurely, and especially what's going on in the news now with Torey Lanez. I mean, that sounds like a case of domestic violence, but
that literally was a case of domestic violence.
Tell me why you think it was a case of domestic violence.
You put a gun on a girl.
Exactly. You
really can't get no worse than that.
You can't. Like,
he just pulled a gun.
And she's taller than you.
wait, hold on.
So to make matters worse, like, you shot a girl that was taller than
you.
Wait. I'm just saying.
Anything.
It has a lot to do with the height bias in the room. It has a lot to do with it because.
Hold on just for a second.
Let's hear Brandon out.
Let me rewind this.
I need to understand this.
Just like that.
Let's rewind this just for a second.
R. Kelly situation.
So, as long as she's the same height or lower,
it doesn't. No, that I didn't say it like that.
Okay.
All I meant was, like, how could you shoot somebody that, like,
that's taller than you?
She's a woman, though. Like, you shot at the end of the day, her height doesn't matter, but you still shot a woman out for what? Like, for what? Why?
Well,
wait, can we just back up for a second?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's back up. Wait.
We're not.
I'm still.
Okay. Let's start this over.
I'm still trying to understand the height piece.
So, I have to understand the height piece.
Okay,
so break it down for me, please.
What I was saying about her height, like, how could you be you're a man? How could you be threatened by a woman? Like,
oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
How could a woman threaten you?
You saying basically, though she might be taller than him, right? You're still a man at the end of the day. Okay,
right,
I get.
Exactly.
Okay,
no.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right.
Like, what?
Man, I was scared for a second, bro. I'm never gonna front.
Her, though?
I was scared for a second.
Oh my god!
All right.
You really
but you knew what I meant. He did.
Finding sound effects. What is going on?
All right. He fixed it, but Brandon fixed it. All right.
Brandon fixed it.
Now that we all figured that out,
so
I'm still stuck on the sound effects.
So I gotta know this. What was the reason? What's the alleged reason of him shooting her? And is it true that he shot her?
There's really no alleged reason.
Right.
Nobody's come out. Meg Thee Stallion hasn't come out. Tory Lanez haven't come out with a true story.
Okay.
The only thing that Tory Lanez has responded to is with this album that came out, and he really didn't say
subliminally
what happened. He was just taking shots at the people who took shots at him on Twitter, and on Instagram, and just nothing. So it was just empty statements.
So basically,
she put out that stuff on Twitter or something?
No. It was like other artists, like they was taking they were saying that, we're gonna take Tory Lanez off our deluxe albums.
I definitely would. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
Most of them did.
If I was a rapper and I just found out another rapper just shot a female, and your life wasn't threatened. Yeah, that's kind of sucker move.
Yeah, and then there was just other rappers who was just responding, male rappers saying that was some sucker. I ain't want to curse, but sucker shit.
Yeah,
just other things.
But we'll be able to bleep that out.
Well, just a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So hold on, wait a second though. So let's just back it up for a second for those viewers who don't know the whole story. So
break it down for us.
So basically, Meg Thee Stallion is a female rapper. She's hanging out with Torey Lanez. He's a rapper up and coming. And they're out having a good time, whatever. You know, you see videos of them partying the night before. All of a sudden, they are in an altercation. Somehow, Meg Thee Stallion gets shot in the foot. There's another piece to it, though, as she talks about in her, the reason why she didn't report it to the police is because she's trying to protect him and herself, to be honest, because she's afraid being a black woman and a black man being pulled over on the side of the road, gun in the car, everything that's going on, the climate that we're currently in.
Basically you're a threat.
Right. She's afraid that now she's gonna have to be worried about losing her life or him losing his, or anyone else in the vehicle with him. So she comes out a few days later and tells us this whole story about how he shot her. And how he's a sucker, and how she can't believe she tried to protect him, and how everyone's coming for her and saying she's lying, and all this stuff. But he comes out. What is it? About a month later?
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. This just happened yesterday. He comes out and then he says he apologizes for the silence. He's gonna address it.
Yeah.
I think it was on Twitter. Was it Twitter?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, Instagram Live. Whatever it was. You get on social media wherever. And then on the Instagram Live, all he does is talk about how he's not going to address it, and he's going to address it in his new album coming up.
Oh,
and he wants to
I already see the type of games he's playing.
He wants to sell us the story.
Oh, hell no.
Yo, if that's not some sucker move.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a sucker move.
That's some clown stuff right there.
Everybody's clowning him right now, too. All the rappers are like, that was the wrong move, dude.
The only reason why
clear it up
she
now.
came out and said anything was because his people kept trying her.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Like they made it seem like, oh, she's lying and she's doing.
Oh, like she's just making up stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So she had to go live and like let it all.
And what's her name? Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I feel like her career is probably going to be much
her
better.
career is bigger than him.
Yeah, absolutely. She got
To
shot.
be honest, like
Well, you know,
featured on every song.
yeah, I know he just went platinum.
Shot, 50 Cent effect.
I know, right?
Listen, man, she's about to blow up.
She's featured on every song right now. Like every song you hear on the radio, you hear her.
So I'm gonna just address this real quick. Meg Thee Stallion. First, I'm gonna give you some cool points just for the fact that you took a bullet and you decided to still protect him after getting shot,
Which is crazy.
So everybody knows in the hood that you look out for the people who are around you. But to Torey Lanez, you definitely shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
you
should
100%. You should not have to. That was something that you didn't have to do, and you did it. You get cool points for that. But Torey Lanez,
Cancel.
yeah, bro. I gotta keep it 100. That's corny.
So,
and you get one of these. Definitely get one of these, bro.
Definitely.
100%.
my question
Not
is,
with these sound effects
can we,
right now.
can I put something? Can we put something on the table though? Because we talk about domestic violence, we talk about police shooting and stuff like that. In this scenario, let's talk about how should we address that? Right, given that scenario, got shot. There's a gun in the car.
Yeah.
2 black people.
Yeah.
You call the police. Does it get escalated? Does it get de-escalated? There's just so many components to our folks that forces us in this position of what do we do? Accident, no accident, charge, no charge, my career's done. Granted, the aftermath of you putting it out on the album isn't all that great, but let's just talk about the domestic violence piece, because in my opinion, this is real stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
happening every
in the
day.
household,
Literally every day.
You're not going to talk to the police because the guy that you're with, even though there's a situation,
Yeah.
or the woman that you're with, even though there's a situation, you guys are making it together.
Yeah.
Absent of them, it tears up the whole. It destroys the whole family.
Yeah.
It does.
How do we navigate through that? And we're talking about domestic violence. How do we get past that cycle?
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
I'll let the guest answer that.
I don't know how to answer that because the most unprotected person in America is the black woman, period. We've heard that time and time again. And since that is the case, we find ourselves forever protecting everybody but ourselves.
Yeah.
Case in point, Meg Thee Stallion. So in that situation, me as a black woman, and having been through situations like that, I don't know what the correct answer or what the correct move would be, because like you said, you don't want to tear the family unit apart. This is the person that you're doing life with. Right. But then too, there's the flip side to that is, why should we have to care so much about somebody and being able to do life with this person if this is how I'm going to be treated at the end of the day? True. And I don't think enough women and men, if they're ever in this position, put themselves first in positions like that. We always tend to care about the other person's reputation. We always tend to care about what's going to happen to the other person more than what's happening to you right now in this moment.
I agree.
I have a question. In that type of situation where you're in a domestic violence situation, basically, I'm trying to word it right. If you grew up in that environment, like your mom and dad had a situation with domestic violence,
Correct.
Are you prone to find someone similar to what you grew up in?
I personally believe so. You know, women, the very first man they fall in love with is their dad.
Yeah, right.
And same thing with boys.
So seeing your mom do it, like protecting your father, I guess that trickles down to why you would protect your boyfriend or husband when he does it as well.
Correct.
So
if a man been beating your mom and
Well, he did.
you know,
I'm sorry. He did. I'm just gonna be honest.
Oh, you saying if
He
a man,
did.
well,
Okay.
but listen,
That's the lady that birthed me. Like,
that's true.
It's,
I understand
it's
it, though.
all like nobody is ever gonna take the side of their dad. They always take the side of their mom.
Yeah, it's and because that's the person
That
gave you
birthed
life.
you. Like my mom, she raised me practically by herself. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look out for her. Like if I see somebody trying to harm her, you dead.
But all right, so what do you do when you want to retaliate on her behalf? You want to do some type of sense or self justice, and then now your mom is telling you and pleading with you like, no, son, don't do it. Then afterward, after the altercation between them, she says, you know what, B, you need to leave because this is just for us.
Listen, to be honest, I'm calling the cops on both of them. I'm sorry.
So you don't mind putting both of them in jail?
No, because
for the altercation.
Because at that point, if you're gonna protect him, he's gonna continue doing it, and then later on, you're gonna end up dead. So therefore, I would rather nip it in the bud and call the police on both of y'all, so that this situation never happens again.
Gotcha.
That's my whole standpoint.
And then somebody around the corner gonna say, "Snitches get stitches."
I still don't care, because at the end of the day, my mother is still safe and she's alive. I don't care.
Yeah, but even what if they get out, right?
If they get out, then
They
it's just
go
gonna
back together.
It's just gonna have
This
to
is
come.
just a cycle.
Well,
So-
then at that point, she wants that, and then she don't value her life.
But sometimes it's not even that.
It
More
is that.
complicated.
Yeah,
I
it's
got-
deeper than that. Sometimes.
I'm gonna give
another
a
part to add to
transparent.
this. I got another part to add to
Go
this.
ahead.
So I think we're skipping over the reason why people stay quiet.
Right.
So a lot of times the reason why people stay quiet is because, one, that's all they know, right? So they don't know that there's another option, right? They
Correct.
don't know there's another way away from this. There's someone who's out there who's going to protect them. They don't know they can go to the authorities. The authorities are supposed to provide support and protection and be able to de-escalate, as Steve said earlier, the situation. That's one thing. The other thing is they're afraid because you got to remember, if this is a violent person who's been violent to my mother or to my father or whatever the situation, my brother or sister, there's a very high chance that once this is all said and done, they're going to come back into the picture. Because most times I'd have to believe, and I don't have the statistics on it, but I have to believe a domestic situation is not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's a repetitive thing.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is what I've experienced personally, that I've seen, that I've gone through, and that I have been a part of. And I'm telling you this right now. If it was done once, there's a 9 out of 10 chance it will be done again.
Facts.
And it also starts.
It gets worse.
It starts verbally.
Yeah.
And then from verbal, it goes to physical.
I think it even
I don't
starts.
agree with
Yes,
that.
it's emotional. I think
I
a
don't
lot of
agree
times.
with that. I don't agree with that. I think
Why?
the situations vary because a person can tell you sweet nothings all day long and then still knock you
good point.
upside your head.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
And you never see it coming.
True. So
That's a good point.
I want to touch on the point that Ray made. So I personally know somebody that is married and they want to get out, but they're afraid. Like legit, they had a conversation with me saying, my husband choked me out and I passed out in the bathroom. Okay, why are you still with him? Said, because I literally am afraid of my life if I tell him that I want a divorce. So there are women out there that are literally trapped in a situation and they don't know how to come out. No, they know how to come out, but they're so terrified. It's like, I'd rather just play my part and hopefully maybe he'll just run away and leave me be. And that's very unlikely to happen.
Right.
But a woman to stand her ground, put her foot down and say, I'm leaving. Now you're on this limb by yourself and you're asking yourself, am I going to be able to survive out here by myself?
Right.
How am I going to be able to, what am I going to do? So that fear drives you, in my opinion, it drives you to stay in this toxic situation. And then you have to ask yourself, like, a lot of them go through depression.
Yeah.
They feel alone and they're married or they're in a relationship and they feel trapped. So there's so much to unpack and they're so deep. Every situation is different. But at the same time, it's a mental, it's like a mental trap that women and probably even some men, because domestic violence is not only just a woman getting beat. There's some men, tall or short, Brandon, that's going to feel like, I don't know, man, she's slapping me up a little bit. I don't know what to say. And then the thing is, for guys, we as guys, the last thing we want to tell our boys, man, she beat me up last night. Man, so now we're going to hold this in, and that's something that really has, it's something that we have to talk about, because a lot of times, a guy going to the police station, yo, man, my girl beat me up. You're going to feel like they're going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
So that's something that we also need to talk about. How do a man have an outlet, just like a woman?
All right, but before I touch that, I want to, LaQueasha said something when Brandon was saying, you were saying that not all the time they start verbal and they can still just go straight. And so you believe that a man can start sweet, nice, and just straight out the gate hit 100.
This is very much so possible.
How does it get there?
Yeah, how does that get there? Give me like an example or something like that.
Like I just said, like it could be going good. The one moment you do something that he doesn't like,
Security.
So a trigger.
It's like smoking mirrors.
it could be a trigger.
Okay.
It could,
Okay.
or it could just be a tantrum, not getting his way. Like,
What I mean, like, I'm sorry to cut her off.
But I have a question.
You said smoking mirrors?
So my question to you is, you said it could be a trigger. Is it possible, just possible, that a woman would like for a man to, they might feel like he loves me if he hits me? And I'm just asking. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm asking a question.
I have to ask that.
I'm asking a question.
Because that's a very good question. And I will never forget one female I had to break up with because I would not react in a manner like that.
Wow.
So I want to ask our guest.
She told me straight up, you do not care for me. You do not love me, because I would not call her the female dog word.
Right. Which is a verbal abuse in many cases, right? So again, putting that on the table to our guests, is that a possibility? Again, bro talk, for us, we look at it from one perspective, but maybe a female might look at it from a different perspective.
And wait. LaQueasha, I'm sorry. Before you answer, this same female, she would not respect me.
Your situation.
Yeah, I'm talking about my situation. She would not respect me because I would not call her those derogatory names, and I wouldn't be aggressive on that level with her. But yet, here's a weird thing. When it was time for relations or entanglement, as Jada calls it, then she wants rough,
entanglement,
intense, punch me in the face, all types of stuff.
Probably choke out, right?
Yeah, choke out. And I'm like, what in the world? Like,
crazy.
So,
no, I'm sorry. Before I give you the floor, how can we?
Yeah, how can you decipher
and think it's okay? And then we eating a burger and choke her and be like, hey, what I'm gonna call the police. Wait, but I thought this is the level we was on.
Yeah.
So please help us to understand.
So, one, I can only speak for me.
Okay.
That.
You tell us.
There's that. But
you.
I guess the answer to that, in my opinion, is a woman that thinks that a man loves her by doing that to her has never experienced real love.
That's I say the same thing.
She's never experienced genuine care. I would even go so far as to say she's probably never seen her dad love her mom or any woman to the capacity that a man should.
Yeah.
Should. Not could, but should. So yeah, but in your case, some women like to be hemmed up.
I'm like, what in the world?
But I'm not saying, I'm not speaking about me. But some women like that, and some women, I mean, I guess it to what extent? I guess if it's not dangerous, then okay. I mean, what you like is what you like.
Listen, I don't want the cops called on me.
Right.
You know,
but
just to make you climax. Like, that's crazy. like, I'm sorry.
But it's consensual.
I like my freedom.
Don't want me to put cuffs on her.
Like, I don't want that.
Though it's consensual, I would probably have her sign an agreement.
Oh, wow.
Let her know, like, this was real.
Every argument I've ever seen.
She was asking for it. What did that mean?
You need to sign the NDA.
Yeah.
She gotta sign something.
So for the listeners and the viewers out there, NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that is mandatory.
For you?
Well,
If she wants
in my
rough
situation now,
entanglements, if she wants rough entanglements, then you need to sign the NDA.
Yeah.
So
I don't have those issues now.
Or
afterwards.
it comes to some mutual understanding.
Right.
Like, it probably doesn't have to be a legit written agreement.
oh no, we need to have that
This
written
time,
up.
man, we need
Could I
something
have
written.
a
Saying
real
she better master
Yeah.
driver's license.
Listen,
Yeah.
because years later she can come back and say,
Oh, no.
I feel traumatized
Yeah,
by him
exactly.
doing this.
Alex
So,
ruined me.
yeah.
Oh no,
I
absolutely
can't
not.
love nobody no more.
If that makes you that uncomfortable, then don't do it. If you have to go to those extremes,
It's hard when you're in the
don't
moment.
do it.
I'm sorry. You know, when someone's telling you what to do, and
Right. It said, all right, man. Whatever.
yeah,
Whatever.
and you know, one of a man's biggest fears is being clowned by his
whack.
woman.
It
So
was whack.
yeah, oh gosh, no man wants to hear to the woman that he's with like, I'm sorry, you're just whack. No one wants to hear that. So it's just
So
like,
you beat her tail in the process of you getting one off just so she can say it was good.
I ain't gonna front. I gotta side with
if she's requesting-
LaQueasha on this one. I'm taking a hard pass, and I think that's what you ended
I
up
would
doing
just have to
anyway.
walk
okay,
away.
so Ray, let me make sure I understand this.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're willing to take the L,
Yeah,
and you're willing for the rumors
Yep.
to be spread
Yeah.
that you're whack.
Yep.
I can take it.
Nah, man.
Oh,
But you know
God.
why? You know why I can say that though?
No,
Hey, listen. But listen. Okay, look. I'll take that 1-1. But listen to this though. I take that L, but I stay out of jail. I stay out of any kind of long-term issues. I don't have to worry about any financial issues. I don't have to worry about any reputational issues. You can say whatever you want about me. At the end of the day, there's another woman out there that I can still not be whack with.
And
you know what I'm saying?
somebody once told me you can always outlive a lie. So
That is true.
you can outlive a lie.
So let me get this clear. So when that bedroom door closed, you're trying to tell me that, like, I have limitations?
Yeah.
You're telling me I want you to.
Are we talking about marriage, or are we talking about just like relational? Like,
Hey,
or-
let me tell you. Let me tell you the
general,
only
like-
difference.
because it's different.
But if the bedroom closed and you doing what you're doing, and she says, "Well, I like to be choked out a little bit," you're gonna say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do it." Again, just
I
for
mean,
discussion.
when do you literally take the hands off the throat? Do you count to 3?
Right.
Do you count to
Press on
5?
3 seconds?
Do you say?
Or, like, what,
Do you
I mean,
say,
we
okay?
gotta learn each other. Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't want her to pass out, but I want her to black out just a tad bit.
Right?
Nah,
What?
no.
I want. This is what she's asking.
There's never
That's
room
what's on the
for
table.
domestic
At that
violence,
point, if she
man.
blacks out and wakes up, she can say that you raped her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say just don't do it at all.
and let's just look at like
Just walk out.
Let's just look through history. I
no.
mean, there's so many celebrities we can look back at that at the time. I have to strongly feel everyone was on the same page.
Consensual.
Bill Cosby.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I'm ahead out. I'm gonna be like that SpongeBob meme.
I'm just saying, maybe not.
I want to bring it back in, though. I really want to bring it back in. Like, the topic really is the fact that what happens when your partner expects things a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good question.
rough.
What
That's-
do you do?
Right. What do you do if it's behind closed doors, not out in the elevator, type of thing? Like those situations
what do you
different.
do?
But I'm talking about when you are behind closed doors. How far is too far? Is that a conversation that you have with them and
it's
say,
definitely
"Listen,
a
man."
conversation.
Yeah. So
A
again,
conversation.
What
we
does the
have a
conversation sound
conversation.
like? That's what I need. That's what I think we want to know.
Don't do this.
What
don't do
does
this.
that sound
What does that
like?
conversation
What do
sound
you
like?
like?
Do we
Safe
pick a
word.
safe word?
Safe word. Yeah.
Pineapple,
Right.
right?
Oh yeah,
Like, what's
always
the
use the
word?
word pineapple.
That's
You'll
always
never
the
go
word.
wrong with pineapple.
No one remembers that word.
Nobody. What's the word again?
Star apple.
What?
Okay. So pretty much a conversation to make sure everybody's on the same page.
I'm ahead out.
That way, domestic violence doesn't flow from out of the closed doors into the elevator, and then you got to get dragged out into the lobby.
Too much.
All right, I got you.
Right. Say Solange.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, we're just saying what was reported. All right?
I saw the footage, man. That was a hard blow right there. All right. Anyway,
We
all
love
right,
you,
Mr.
JG.
Financial Guru.
So that is pretty scary. First off,
Very.
and
Not pretty.
I'm just going off of the weird, crazy situations that I've had. But let's touch it a little more deeper. I'm gonna get on a little serious note. So, as many of y'all know here, the listeners don't know, but I myself was a victim of domestic violence, and I've also been the victimizer in the same relationships. And I came from a great family, mother and father, my whole life. Also, both parents are in the church, are pastors, are Christians. And I'm able to talk about it now because I'm delivered, and it took a while for me to learn how to actually treat people and how to enjoy someone's presence and how to expect the expectations of a person. So just because that person doesn't do certain things that you request doesn't give you the right to possess them. And I think a lot of times where the domestic violence stems from, we believe that people are our property, and we don't own them. You don't own them. And not only do you not own them, but that person is a free soul. That's how God made them. God made them free. You can't control them. If they want to be with you, that's their option. That's their choice. And if they want to leave you, that's their option. That's their choice. So my word of advice for anyone who is listening, and I know I joke a lot and I play a lot of games, but this is as serious as I can get, is to make sure that you're happy and make sure you don't do anything that can put you in an uncompromising situation. I don't know if anybody else here have ever been a victim or been victimized by it, but that's as transparent as I can get. Is, you know, just be careful, man. It's not worth it. Meg Thee Stallion, I don't know your music, I don't know anything like that, but don't even put yourself around that type of situation. Don't put yourself around those type of people. Alcohol, drinking, smoking, all that type. Just it's not worth it. Thank God, and I know it sounds horrible, but thank God it was just the foot you got shot in.
It's the back of her foot.
Thank God. In time that will heal, but it could have done way more damage. You know.
There's nothing wrong with drinking and smoking, by the way.
What? That's what you got from this? Wow. I put my heart on my sleeve and you're telling me there's nothing.
Pretty much what he got from that.
A little drinking and smoking will hurt.
Like, I don't understand what he
He's
got
like,
that
don't
from.
blame the drinking and smoking.
He's like, listen.
Anything else but the drinking and smoking.
Because they was under the influence. That has nothing to do with it.
Listen, blame the person, not the drinking and smoking.
Yeah, but sometimes things can possess you.
Yeah.
I think the
I
point he
can
was trying to
agree with
make was, if the drinking and smoking causes certain people you're around to react and treat you that way,
Yeah.
then eliminate that environment.
I got that
Correct.
point.
That's all he was trying to say.
All right, I got you.
For the listeners who
But
didn't quite
wouldn't you
understand
say,
where
though, that
Alex came from.
would you blame that on drinking and smoking instead of a character flaw?
It's a
Exactly.
character
That's
flaw.
what I was saying.
I think it
It's
goes
a
with
character
both.
It's more of a character
it's
flaw than
definitely
me.
a character flaw.
It
But
could
you know,
definitely be
when you
rated.
drink or you smoke, you
yeah.
a portal
Yeah.
opens up.
Yeah, I can agree to that as well.
And then now you allow something to enhance what's already inside of you. So that's why I just say, like, don't even put yourself in that situation. You know,
But
I've
what
never.
if they don't know they're putting themselves in that situation? What
So-
if the person was sober,
Uh-huh.
you know, a great person, and they just found themselves in that situation? Because that happens. I don't know your story, but I'm pretty sure the woman you mentioned, you didn't meet her sloppy drunk and she was ready to just slap you.
No, I didn't meet her sloppy drunk. And I personally don't drink or smoke. But we were both sober. And we both, I believe, just had character flaws in us. We were just messed up.
yeah.
Didn't understand how to treat people and how to treat each other. And, you know, two big babies. That's really what it is. You know what babies do when they upset?
Tantrums.
Yeah, they throw tantrums and that's it. So it was ignorance at its finest.
I think the most important thing that we should talk about, though, with this domestic is, regardless of what the cause is or the influence is, just know that it's never okay, and that you always need to have someone that you can go to and know that there's someone there who's willing to walk you through and help you through it.
Somebody
Yes.
that won't go and spread your business everywhere either.
Find a confidant
Yeah.
who can really have your back. If you don't already have one, you know, hopefully we all have somebody that we're close enough to. I know we got our bros here, and today our lady bro who's hanging out with us. But you know, you got to have somebody,
Of course.
and if you don't have somebody, find somebody. And, you know, you got to be able to go to that person and feel like they can support you. And to Brandon's point, have your back and not put all your mess in the streets and, you know, embarrass you for it. Somebody who's not gonna, as soon as y'all fall out, say that's why XYZ.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the worst feeling.
A lot of people do that though today.
That's facts.
But I also think that's easier said than done.
It is.
Because,
It is.
and I can speak for myself because I've been in a domestic violent relationship before as the victim. And that's not something that you just want to share.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to stay in the relationship, that you don't want other people to view this person in the way that you've seen them.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely much easier said than done to just say, make sure you find somebody to talk to about this, because you don't want to go through this by yourself. Yeah, most of those people that are in those situations want to go through it by themselves because they just don't want to be seen as, one, weak, two, stupid, and three, they don't want their partner's reputation ruined.
Yeah.
So let me ask. I'm sorry, Steve. Let me just ask you. How did you get into that relationship, and then how did you get out of that relationship?
Oh, you want that tea? Okay. How did I get into it? I got into it how I mentioned. I did not know.
Wow.
I was completely blindsided.
So he was a great guy.
He was a great guy.
Amazing, right out the gate.
An amazing.
Sweet.
Listen, he was a preacher.
Oh God.
He was a preacher.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Here we go.
And he was
a great
was it
guy.
right there.
I thought, to be honest, funny. Y'all play so much.
Like, go ahead.
But yeah, he was a great guy. I didn't see any of that coming. Didn't see it coming. We stayed in the. I stayed. That relationship lasted 3 years, and how I got out. So for the viewers that are watching, I'm not from Miami. I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois.
Gotcha.
Which is the rough side of St. Louis.
Chi-town in the building.
No.
Somebody else from St. Louis.
It's a different Illinois.
It's different.
It's over the bridge.
Chicago is 3 hours away.
You have to go over the bridge from St. Louis to get to East St. Louis.
East St. Louis, yes. You have to cross the Mississippi River for a quick geography lesson.
Okay, so this
But
isn't.
it's still in Illinois.
It's still in Illinois.
It's still in Illinois, just not Chi-town.
Other
The
St.
fact that
Louis.
he was so confident with
Yeah, I was about to say Chirac.
No. But I'm not from here, so how to my point, how I got out was I gave him some East St. Louis flavor. I sent him back to his mother with a black eye. You're not gonna keep hitting on me thinking that it's okay.
Oh hell no!
And
What in the world?
I mean, it was being done to me.
Listen, she had a
It
right
was
to hit him back,
self-defense at
right?
that point.
You gotta play that song, Alex.
But like I said, don't
Now,
play
were you
it.
taller than him or were you shorter than you?
I'm shorter than most people, so he was
Okay,
taller than
yeah,
me.
because Brandon will.
About to say the same height.
Well, yeah,
Brandon's a whole.
I'll just forget it.
All right, sorry. We're joking.
I plead the fifth.
You dissent?
I plead the fifth.
LaQueasha,
Brandon
can I
said
ask
you
a
played
question?
the fifth.
Yes, go ahead.
So you were in a relationship for 3 years. When did the domestic abuse start?
I can honestly say I noticed it. So let me give a little background.
Right.
Prior to that relationship, the relationship before that one was also domestic, domestically violent rather. And that relationship was, I think, almost 6 years. So yeah. So I knew what to look for. So with the relationship that I'm referring to now, I noticed it when it started with a arm grab. When I walked away from an argument, it started with that, and it's like, hold on.
It's like every movie.
You like a movie, yeah. And it was, hold on, you grabbing me a little too hard now. Like I ain't going too far. We in the same house. So that's when I noticed, like, hold on, that's a red flag. But then it simmered down from there. And from there, it went from an arm grab to a push up against the wall. And from a push up against the wall to a choke up against the wall. And then from that to literally throwing blows. So that's how that escalated.
That's crazy.
Oh, he would have got
So
cut.
I have a question. Because you said that a lot of people want to go through it alone. I want to challenge that. Do you feel like it's just that they're afraid of sharing it?
Yeah.
Or they don't have someone to share it with? Because I know Ray mentioned, just find someone you can have, you can confide in and stuff like that. My question is, sometimes it's hard for people to find someone. What do those individuals do when I really don't have someone to confide in? I'm in Miami and I'm from Illinois. I don't know anybody around here. How do you address that? How do you tackle that? Well, do you have any advice on what steps someone could take in order to get through that situation?
Do me a favor. I'm sorry, because we have to actually go to our sponsors real quick. Okay. Steve, hold that question.
Okay.
And we're gonna get right to our sponsors. Okay.
All right.
Hold on just for a second. All right, we are back. I do apologize about that. We had a sponsor break. Make sure you tune in.
You're live in the mix with Badger Online Radio.
Okay, Steve, go ahead and give you that question that you was.
All right. So my question, Ray mentioned that, if you're suffering from domestic violence, you want to have some type of confidant, someone that you can reach out to, which is great. But my question I want to pose to our guests and even the team: what do you do when you're from a whole nother state? Our special guest said that she's from Illinois. She came to Miami and experienced domestic violence. However, she's not from here. So how in that situation can you say, I have someone to talk to? You don't know anyone. You don't know if they're going to help you, if they're going to hurt you, if they're going to talk about you. That's a very sensitive and a sensitive topic that you just can't go to anyone, not even a pastor in some cases. You don't feel like you're comfortable speaking to someone of clergy in a church. What can someone that's suffering and fit this narrative, what can they do? And that's kind of what I want to pose on the table.
So for me, I didn't go to anyone. I dealt with it until I was tired of it. I think I didn't go to anyone until I was tired and I'm like, okay, I have to end this. In which case I went to a couple of, maybe one friend, maybe one or two friends, and I don't even think they knew the extent and the severity of it until well after.
Wow.
But my advice would be, I don't have any advice for that, because that's not something that you just are readily willing to share with people. I don't have any advice for that.
So I have a question though. So when you shared it with that one friend, even though they didn't know the extent of it, tell me how you were feeling. Was it a sense of relief? Were you afraid? Did you feel like finally I can let it out and I now think I can make one step closer to getting out of my situation? At least share that perspective that you encountered.
I didn't feel like any of that. I felt hurt because I knew I was getting ready to end something that I wanted.
Wow.
I wanted to work it out. I wanted to make it work, but I knew eventually my life would be on the line because he saw nothing wrong with what he was doing. It was even a point where after an altercation, he apologized, and I'm like, what are you really sorry for if you keep doing it?
Keep doing it.
And he said, well, I'll be honest, I never was really sorry all the other times I said sorry. But I'm sorry this time.
Wow.
So, what was the question?
Yeah, you know what? Text me his address.
Listen, man, you know that situation, Alex. What do you mean you're not sorry?
Like, off the air.
The question is, how did you feel? Like, did you feel support, or did you feel any indifferent? No,
I didn't. I felt like I was breaking up with someone. That's how I felt when I went to my friend and said that I have to end this because this is what's going on. I didn't feel any type of relief. I didn't feel any like excitement to finally share this with somebody. I didn't feel anything good that one probably could feel. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it because I knew that I had been used to this person for so long. Now I have to start life over again.
Right, and that's a part of fear that
Yeah.
people don't want to encounter. So I do have one more question for you on that situation. So you mentioned previous to that situation, you were in a relationship for 6 years. My question is, did you talk to the pastor friend that you were involved with about your previous relationship and the domestic violence that you experienced?
I'm sure I did.
Prior to him demonstrating some type of domestic violence?
I'm pretty sure I did.
All right, so then would it be, do you think that because he knew that history, maybe he felt, not justifying his actions, maybe he felt that this is the only way you're going to listen or for him to have his way, so he has to resort to that because you've experienced it? Just putting it on the table to food for thought, not justifying it, but I'm trying to see if maybe there's a trend, because it seemed like sometimes it becomes a pattern of a person, an individual that goes through some type of domestic violence. They happen to encounter it again. It's almost like I attract the same person, but you told me that he was great when you first met him. So I'm just wondering if that might influence someone to say, this is what we got to resort to because you just ain't listening.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't know what his deal was. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do I have a tendency to not listen? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very much.
What you saying now?
We're gonna have to take that type of discussion for another show.
Okay.
But okay, go ahead.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of women agreeing with that part.
I have the tendency to not listen.
We're gonna have to invite you back on Bro Talk. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm very outspoken. I'm the type of person where I like my way to be my way. Not necessarily throw a tantrum about it, but you will know I feel some type of way. So I'm sure on more than 10 occasions, I'm sure that has happened, but I don't think that ever resorts to you putting your hands on somebody.
Absolutely.
I would agree with you on that one. That
Any
shouldn't
excuse.
resort.
Yeah.
I'm like, just because I don't listen to you, like, we can agree to disagree. That doesn't mean.
Well, that's easier said than done for some men. You know how some men are. Some men, some people. Period. Some people. Some people.
Thank you. Just want to make sure we all.
With Bro Talk, men. I'm gonna stick with men. Then
Domestic violence too.
this is true. This is true.
Well, guys, I just want to say this was a very, very touching subject. Does anybody have the hotline to domestic violence?
Yeah, I actually have the hotline number for anybody that needs to reach out to somebody that can be a confidant or gear you in the right direction. It's 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233. And we also have another 800 number, 1-800-273-8255. Domestic violence is really a serious matter, and we would definitely encourage you to speak to somebody. You're not in it alone, even though you might feel like you're in it by yourself and there's no way out. That's just part of the process, right? That's part of the domestic physical and emotional violence.
Yeah.
There are people out there that will keep everything confidential. That hotline is set up for you. Please get some help, and don't think that you're in this by yourself.
I would say speak up and get out.
Mm-hmm. And also, just in case, if anyone has, let's say you need assistance or you need help getting out, please feel free to email us at info@bro-talk.com, and you can also just go to the website as well, and we'll help out any which way we can. So I just want to say, LaQueasha, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are
me.
officially a bro.
Thank you. Please, no signatures, please.
Hey, do me a favor. Anything you want to say to your listeners? Any your social media handles? Anything like that?
Y'all can follow me on social media at funsize_QUE. QUE. Again, that's at funsize_QUE. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look me up.
All right, perfect. So everyone, this is the last take on it. Everyone have a great day. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and checking us out. See you next time.
Yo.
Peace out.
Yo.